Hello, I'm live. All right. Making sure everything is good on my end. Yep. How's it looking on the feed? That looks good. All right. Let's make social media posts and then I'll go on ahead and go live. For real. That was a big doggo. Alright, everything looks good. Let's refresh chat. There we go. Alright. That should pop up in a couple seconds. There it is. Perfect. All right. So how about we go on ahead and start rather dark side story. Throat. Glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Alden has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Now that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front line against these new weapons. Not that, the soldiers. If they're designed to slay primals, they'd make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Baelsar and his followers who've led charge so far. By all accounts, they've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, these sorties have been met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way. Oh. Okay, so you're not gonna... Alright, cool. Alright, let's go. Yep, the sorrow of Werlyt. Showing off even more deranged and messed up stuff that the Empire does. We got a tiny little taste of it during the MSQ when we were playing as Justinian, but I dare say this is probably going to be a lot worse than seeing a person fused to an artificial Ultima. Only way to headquarters to take it? Yes. Alright, well, I'm here. Oh, you're admiring how unified we are and how jealous you are because you're an Imperial, I guess. So, your mind is set. Then I should apprise you of the situation. We've discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Orsian front. Its name, the Ruby Weapon. Sever and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs and made an attempt to destroy it.
An attempt that ended in failure, alas. Based on our knowledge of the original Ultima weapons, the explosive we employed should have been sufficient to blast through them through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessor may have proven the source of its resilience.
As you well know, Ultima weapon was designed to absorb ether from the icons, and the Ruby weapon no doubt shows that ability. If any were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemald's occupied territories, and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. but its near impenetrable armor was the only beginning of our troubles. Fought back with whip-like claws that could be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw.
Gaius was injured just shielding me from the ruby weapon's assault. Even now he struggles to stand. Damn it all. If I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened.
You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I'm the one who initiated the Ultima Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury the shameful legacies, then so be it.
If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbled within firing distance. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Throat's assistance presents our best chance of stopping the War Machina.
'Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be him.
And he regrets still asking me for help, though?
Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength?
I'm not one to back down from a fight.
You have my thanks.
And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word the Empire is preparing to advance on the Giblet Dark. That is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the ruby weapon will be among their host. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling what the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way.
Hello! I am the escort.
What price must the world pay for my hubris?
A short while earlier in Garlean occupied city of Werlyt, Werlyt's Magitech installation. Commencing ruby weapon activation sequence. All units stand by.
I love that music.
Initiating synthetic aurosite system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Ruby weapon, codenamed Daunus, ready for launch.
Well then. Valdolan has briefed me on our situation. I am to take you as far as our expected point of contact with the ruby weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Ah, the Cinder Drift. Alright, well. Item level 455 average. Well, I'm going in as a caster, which means this is going to be suicide. I am the least practiced with Red Mage at the moment, but I'm determined to go into this first one with Red Mage, you know, against the ruby weapon.
In the meantime...
I feel like doing a bit of double duty. Actually, no, that wouldn't really make sense. I'll just pause the recording for right now.
Alright.
Queue time is 8 minutes, so honestly, this really shouldn't take too long, I hope. So I recently found out that I can use QuickTime to do screen recording on my Mac for if I want to record anything from my iPhone. And I did not know that QuickTime had that ability. So that's neat and opens up another option for me. Wow, I've got 120 out of 150 Jokers open. I actually finished my Abandoned Deck run. For the first time. I finally beaten a run with the Abandoned Deck. I got the Square Joker in my first shop, and I built my strategies around using exactly 4 cards per hand. And I focused on 4 of a kind and 2 pair. And I was able to get Jokers that helped me out with that, so I win? The Abandoned Deck is actually kind of fun. Because I always try to go for, like, full houses and, like, King and Ace High Straights. Made me have to think outside my normal comfort zone for Quattro runs. Okay. I have system sounds turned all the way down instead of Firefox. Thought I had Firefox turned all the way down. With the loud cars in this neighborhood. Well, I'm getting my curmudgeon-y old man experience in. If I'm wanting to loudly complain about loud music and just loud noises in general. I want my goddamn peace and quiet sometimes. I think the cold weather has been getting to my sinuses a little bit because one of my nostrils has kind of been bloody lately. That's one of the reasons why I was delayed a little bit when going live. I had to deal with another sudden nosebleed real quick. They're never bad, it's just unfortunate. Yeah, they're not really intense or anything like that. It's just
My nose does not really react well to dry conditions or, you know, like cold making my skin super dry. Oh. I didn't know you were tipped over there, buddy. There we go. He's now sitting up. We're coming up on the 8 minutes for the estimate. You lied to me, game. So the question is, do I swap over to Sage to wait? Oh yeah, I spent all those gear tokens I got, and I all of my jobs are now item level 500 or better now. The only one that I needed to help to push over 500 after getting upgraded gear was Sage, because my Sage weapon was still at item level 430. So I just went on ahead and redeemed the tomestones to get the item level 500 one. I don't feel the need to waste the tomestones for the 530 weapon. I'm perfectly content with the item level 500 one until I get an upgrade during Endwalker. Oh, there's my drink. Oh, we got a tank in the queue. Hopefully that means we're going to be getting in soon. My hands are super dry right now. Cold weather really does a number to my skin. Same thing to my lips. Yeah, if you're wondering, this is my lip balm right now. I mainly got it because of the animal head. Because it's cute. I like it. On my red mage, I redeemed 3 of the accessory tokens, and I redeemed the hand tokens and the boot tokens. No, I didn't redeem the boot tokens. I just redeemed the glove tokens. I'm gonna see what pieces of gear I pull from the next 2 dungeons. And hopefully I can actually get something that'll be upgrades for my item level 450 stuff on my red mage, because these are the only two that are at 450. That are at 450. Dancer's actually doing okay. I want to try to get I want to try to get some new pants. Ninja's actually in pretty good shape. This is probably the gear I'll be going into Endwalker with. And Warrior is just, well, Warrior. Gear on my Warrior is perfectly fine. Because I didn't want to take any chances when I was soloing the Binding Coils of Bahamut. And for Dancer, everything seems to be fine. Probably just some new pants for Dancer. And Sage, I'm gonna be keeping a lookout for, well, nothing really. Everything seems to be okay. Alright, so not gonna be looking for any upgrades for healing, just casting and aiming. And maybe some new oh yeah, any accessory upgrades will for my Dancer also apply to my Ninja. So yeah, I'm just going to be looking for gear upgrades for my Red Mage and my Dancer. Everything else is pretty much set in stone for the rest of the expansion. Alright, back to waiting. See if I have a pack available. Well, 11 minutes until I get enough, until I can open a new pack without using hourglasses. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. Let's go. I actually didn't have to wait as long as I thought. We're heading into the Cinder Drift to take on the Ruby Weapon if people would accept the friggin' thing. Come on. I ain't got all night. Oh god, don't tell me it's gonna go back. Yep, it went back. Alright, well, commence. That time it went through. The Cinder Drift. Mark III Anti-Icon War Machina, the Ruby Weapon. Enemy detected. Commencing attack. Fire the big fat tacos. And Scorch! Ooh. Ow! Alright, let's just get on these prematurely. Oh my! I bet that insta-kills. Oh god! Another Flexi Claw? Oh. Okay, cool. Ow! Oh, okay. Almost done. Oh, what? This can't be. The Rui weapon is unstoppable. I'm sorry, everyone. This is the end for me. Activating Oversoul. Increasing pilot override rate to 100%. Commencing force shutdown and system restart. Synthetic R-site switching to Oversoul mode. Loading data sample. Darnus combat data ready. Initiating organic core override. What's this? No! Get out of my mind! Stop! No! I'm not Nail! I am! So yeah, there was a reason we heard that music during the original cutscene. I am Nail Van Darnus. Come to purify this forsaken land. Oh, goody! Oh, Meteor Project! Lovely! Oh. Ow! Oh, into the middle then, I guess. All right, hide behind. All right. Thank you. Alamoot's falling again. Oof.
Yay! We did it!
And we did wipe. All right. You're the only one here, so you get it.
Yay!
So yeah, if you're wondering what happened to the pilot, we'll find out what later. I don't want to say right now. Even from afar, your figure was unmistakable. As ever, an impressive display. Though, as I'm sure you will concur, the ultimate weapon pales in comparison to this new monstrosity. If their research is allowed to continue, the next model will be nigh on unstoppable. With that in mind, the Alliance has enlisted the help of... Wait, I hear something. Here to sift through what remains of the ruby weapon, are you? Allie, what do you think you're doing? Allie. Father! It has been too long, Alphonse, and you too, Rex. Given that the Empire is proceeding with the weapon project and making inroads into Asia, I suppose it was only a matter of time until our paths crossed. It's wonderful to see you again, Father, although I can't say I think much of the company you've been keeping.
I know a lot's happened, but I'm just glad you're all right. And now, you can come back to Garlemald with us.
My days serving the Empire are over.
Because you're suspected of assassinating Emperor Varus? But we know you'd never do a thing like that. There must be a way to prove your innocence. Then everything could go back to the way it was.
Gaius? Why'd they call you Oh god, not again.
So he found you two shivering on the roadside when he was going through Werlyt. Lucky for you, eh? If he hadn't, we'd probably be dead by now. As for us three, our parents all died in the epidemic. We'd still be begging on street corners if it weren't for him. just wish there was a way we could repay Lord Gaius for all the kindness he's shown us. He fights for the Empire, so we should too. That'll make him proud of us. You're saying we should join the army? I don't think that's such a good idea. Everyone in Werlyt was scared of the Guardians. Why would we want to be like them? Lord Gaius is different. I know he is. You're right. He always says that the strong should lead the weak. Maybe that's why he took us in. All right. I'm becoming a soldier if that's what it takes. I'll do it. Who's with me? Count me in, and maybe one day people will look up to us like we do Lord Gaius. Then it's settled. From now on, we're all brothers and sisters fighting for the same cause. Brothers and sisters? Then that would make Lord Gaius our father? Well, if he doesn't mind us calling him that, I suppose so. That makes you our big brother, since you're the oldest. You'll be nice to us, or I'm telling Father. Father, since you went away, a lot has changed in the Empire, for us too. If we'd known that you were still out there, still alive, none of this would have happened.
What do you mean?
The truth is...
If you must go, I will not stop you, but answer me this. Who was piloting the ruby weapon? We all know that Nail von Darnus has not returned from the dead.
Who do you think? It was... Melisandre.
No. No, I refuse to believe it.
Oh my god, we killed a kid.
I refuse to believe that you would let that happen. She was a sister to you, to all of you.
We only want to finish what you started. And we will never forget what all you've done for us. The next time we meet, it shall be as enemies. Goodbye, Father. As for you, hero of Eorzea, you'll pay for what you did to Melisandre. I swear it.
Okay, guys, what the fuck? Start talking right now. Ah, hi, Sid. Well, Gaius van Belsaw, we meet again. Come to see how your precious weapon project has been proceeding in your absence, have you? You all come to collect data on the ruby weapon, correct? The pilot, Melisandre, should still be inside the cockpit. I will ask Valdalane to escort you to the wreckage. Any idea who Melisandre is? An imperial crony of his, perhaps? You're not gonna like what I'm saying. One of the orphans. Gaius always did have an eye for talent and a mind to nurture it. In fact, Livia Sas Julius was another protege of it. Oh, God! He even took me under his wing when my father became obsessed with the Meteor Project. It's strange that I felt closer to Gaius than my own flesh and blood. Then my father and countless others lost their lives in the Bozja incident. Although he was acting under Emperor Solus's orders, he masterminded the whole thing. I begged him to reconsider and put an end to this madness, but my words fell on deaf ears. That's when I turned to Gaius for support, and he was as much of a pawn of the Emperor as my father, and refused to intervene. And when my term came to serve, I defected and fled to Eorzea. I blamed Gaius as much as any of them, perhaps even more for the barbaric acts carried out in the name of conquest. But when we met at the Praetorium, all my hatred that had been festering inside me seemed to fade away, and I remembered the man I once respected. To think the dreaded Black Wolf was a mere plaything of the Ascians who left him in broken and disgraced, having sent thousands of his men to early graves. It's more than most could bear, and now the lives of the children he raised hang in the balance. Any personal grievances I have with Gaius can wait. I'd best gather what information I can on the ruby weapon. I'll be back as soon as possible. Oh my god. So yeah, when I was saying there was some messed up stuff, I really was not joking. If Sid is as I remember him, it will not take long for him to finish investigating the remains of the ruby weapon. He never was one to waste time. My engineers are still in the field, but there's something I thought you should know right away. It's about the pilot. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but if Melisandre is dead, I only hope she was not made to suffer. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I've never seen such perversion of science and nature. Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony as her very life's essence was drained from her. So she was sacrificed to power that infernal machine. We must act quickly if we are to prevent the Empire from committing further atrocities. Throat, is there any other information you could share with us regarding the ruby weapon prior to its deactivation?
Yeah, apparently, the memories of, Nail was in there.
Nail Van Darnus, did the Legatus mean that much to Melisandre? From what I gather, it sounds as if the data based on Nail's combat capabilities was used to override the pilot's consciousness after she was fused to the core. If this technology is perfected and the Empire begins implanting the memories of renowned warriors such as the White Raven into its soldiers, the Alliance won't stand a chance. Such a thing is impossible. A similar method with transference was used on the prototype Estinian fault, was it not? A friend did mention he overheard the Signiferi loading various sets of data into the test model during the battle. It would appear that the system has been improved since then. Well, it may bear some similarities. We won't know for certain until we've analyzed the wreckage of the ruby weapon. It cannot be denied that combining combat data from an experienced soldier with the powers of an icon has yielded remarkable results. But in doing so, the Empire has sunk to the very depths of depravity. This is beyond forgiveness.
For once I agree with you, yet one question remains unanswered. How were they able to obtain data on someone who was supposedly killed prior to the calamity?
That's what I'm trying to determine. There's one possibility I'd like to explore, but I'll need to carry out a more thorough investigation first. Sever will provide support while you're in the field. Not only is she extremely well versed in the latest Garlean technology, there are a few soldiers I would rather have watching my back.
Hello. Off we go.
In the meantime, Valdelin and I will follow the ruby weapon's tracks back to its point of origin. We will learn what we can of the weapon project and the manner in which Alphonse and the others are involved. Should we uncover anything of value, we will relay it to the troops stationed here. For now, I suggest you use this lone Gallian activity to recuperate.
Yeah, screw that. I'm gonna be going after the next one after this. Would I be correct in guessing that this belated reunion with those darling orphans of yours has stirred up memories of your time in Garlemald? Remember our agreement, Gaius? If you so much as think of returning to your Imperial masters, I will kill you. I want to know more about that little agreement. Oh, I just go down this way.
So he put down the ruby weapon. Gods, I wish I could have seen it. Not from too close, mind. I suppose I should report the news of your victory to the higher-ups. I realize you must have been through quite the ordeal, but could you give me a quick summary of the battle?
Yeah, some fucked up shit happened. I really don't want to try to repeat it too much.
Make it sound so easy. From the way you tell it, anyone would think you would slay hulking brutes like that for a living.
Well...
I'll put all this into a report and leave the copy over there, should you fancy a bit of light reading. Anyway, I expect you got more pressing matters to take care of, like going for a celebratory pint. If the Gallians pluck up the courage to come knocking again, we'll let you know. Until then, rest up.
Yay. Meanwhile, in the Werlyt Magic Tech installation.
We should have told him the truth. He'd be able to help us. I know he would.
That's exactly the problem, Allie. If he knew the true nature of the weapon project, he'd find some way to interfere. We've come too far to back down now. I won't let Milsandia's death be in vain. Even if that means going against Father's wishes.
Cheer up, Alphonse. We can go back to being one big happy family after we've dealt with those pesky Eorzeans. It'll be just like old times.
If only it were that simple. There's no guarantee any of us will make it back alive.
Excuse me, I think you're forgetting whose turn it is next. Oh, ye of little faith, with me at the helm of the sapphire weapon, it'll be over before you know it. Whatever happens, Rex, promise me you'll come back to us. I couldn't better lose you two.
Yeah, so, guess what's gonna happen? Oh, yeah, I'm getting the, I'm getting the, Savage version unlocked. Yeah. Oh! Feast your eyes on the likeness of the Crimson Courier, the Vermilion Villain, the Scarlet Scoundrel, the one and only ruby weapon. As I'm sure you remember, its most prominent characteristics were its impregnable armor plating, adroitly depicted here, and its long, flexible claws, which are, well, you'll just have to imagine those for now. Yeah, whatever. Just give me the Savage version. Oh, the extreme version, rather.
Not like I'm gonna be doing it, but I just want it unlocked anyway. Alright, next chapter. Let's go. Sleep Now and Sapphire. Throat, I'm afraid we haven't had much in the way of information to share from the front line. We have, however, received word that Gaius wishes to speak with you at the Alliance headquarters. I've arranged an escort to take you to the headquarters, so when you're ready to depart, speak with the fellow over there. Over where? Oh, I think I see him. Ah! Perfect. Alright, drive me out there and, put the AC on full blast. I don't like it very humid and hot. Hey, apparently Gaius wanted to talk to me.
Good, you're here. The Ironworks have completed their analysis of the ruby weapon, and Sid Garland wishes to share his findings. I take it you could spare a few moments?
Yep.
Very good. Please wait here while I inform him of your arrival.
Glad you could make it, Throat, as I'm sure you're as anxious as anyone to hear what we've uncovered. Our early hypothesis proving correct. The Garleans have designed a system whereby a pilot's consciousness can be forcibly supplanted with data based on the memories of an experience of another.
So even a rank amateur could obtain the combat capabilities of a seasoned warrior.
Precisely. And we've learned how this was made possible when we opened the cockpit. The monitors were still operational, and among the messages displayed, one particular phrase caught my attention. Synthetic R-Sight system.
Which is what exactly?
Well, the core of the ultimate weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabik by the Asians. We believe it to have been a type of R-Sight. Can't say much for the synthetic sort at this stage, but I've encountered real R-Sight before. It was extremely potent, perhaps equal in power to the Heart of Sabik. It's unclear whether the Garlean simulacrum possesses the same properties as genuine R-Sight, but I intend to follow this avenue of inquiry to see where it leads.
What we do know is that it was used to implant the combat data of Neil Van Darnus into the pilot, who has been presumed dead since before the calamity. Are you any closer to discovering how they were able to retrieve this data?
The link didn't occur to Gaius at first, but it later told me that of devices fitted to the Magitech armor of the Empire's high-ranking officers. There's reason to believe they were designed to emulate the soul crystals used throughout Eorzea.
Yes, that was rumored to be its true purpose, but it was never publicly acknowledged. Perhaps those in the upper echelons of command wanted to avoid comparisons to the so-called savages they were meant to be conquering.
There's also the question of whether the system even functions as intended. I don't like the sound of that. From what we've seen, we can assume that they were successful in gathering combat data of those wearing armor equipped with the device. If the comparison with soul crystals is valid, perhaps its data was transferred via ether. However, it seems that it extracted not only memories relating to combat, but the soldier's very essence. As you saw, the pilot succumbed entirely to the will of Van Darnus. Though this is merely supposition, it's possible that being fused with the ruby weapon's core accelerated the process and caused the deceased legatus to manifest in corporeal form.
Could it be that the death of the pilot was caused by the system malfunctioning?
It's hard to say. The ruby weapon itself was still largely intact when it deactivated, which strongly implies that it was the synthetic R-Sight running amok that killed her, rather than the damage incurred during the battle. But even after our analysis, I'm afraid we still don't have enough information. For now, perhaps we should consult with Gaius as to our next plan of action. A lot of this sits with me very badly. Valderlin has come bearing vital information.
I traced the ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Werlyt, which appears to be where it was built. Where exactly is Werlyt? While Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Gimlet, Werlyt lies on the opposite side, to the east. It was once a proud and prosperous city until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders. You seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me. I thought that much was common knowledge.
It is also where Alphonse and the others were born. And now the weapon project has brought them home.
Yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They have established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Turncliffe. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago.
This bodes ill indeed. Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Turncliffe presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood, their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we were able to secure a vessel.
Or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all, as the crow flies. In fact, this is the perfect chance to put my top-secret plan into action.
And might I ask what that entails?
It wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? What I can say is that there's a starring role planned for you, Throat.
Wait, what?
Why so surprised? You didn't think I'd let you off that easily, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere.
As long as it doesn't involve me getting absorbed into a Ultima weapon-like thing and dying the most horrid death I can think of. I see Sid still delights in keeping the others in suspense. I can only hope he does not make us wait over long.
Okay. No item level requirement.
Wait, what the hell is this? Sid, what the hell have you been up to while I've been in the first? Here it is, Throat. I present Garland Ironworks' adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the G-Warrior. I know elegant design when I see it. Excavated from one of the ruins, no doubt.
As is La, to be precise. We came across it during the course of our investigations and decided we'd be ashamed to let it go to waste.
And you will be taking this refitted relic to face the enemy head-on, yes? Perhaps my knowledge of the Ultima weapon will be of use.
I'm counting on it, as it happens. But first, we'll need to perform a test run in the simulator before throwing you into battle. Come, we haven't much time.
Wait, what? What?
You mean I get to pilot this thing? In the coming battle, you will fight as the G-Warrior! Let's begin the G-Warrior training simulation. I prepared 3 trials to teach you the basics. First, I want you to try attacking the guidance system. Don't worry, it won't fight back much. G-Warrior is armed with a range of weaponry. Now's your chance to learn what it's capable of.
Oh! Okay. EP regeneration stopped. HP regeneration stopped. Safety lock is on, preventing the use of Ethereal Aegis. Safety lock is on, preventing the use of Pyretic Booster. Oh! Okay. Oh, I get more abilities than just this. So far, so good. Let's move on to something a bit more advanced, shall we? G-Warrior also comes equipped with a Pyretic Booster, which diverts even more power to its weapons and increases speed and maneuverability. This, however, comes at a price. Activating it places a huge strain on the G-Warrior, so it must only be used in short bursts. That's why it's best to practice here before heading into battle. Now try activating the Pyretic Booster. You'll notice that your movement speed is much improved, but as shown on your monitor, the G-Warrior becomes more and more structurally unstable as time passes. Deactivate the Pyretic Booster, press the button again. AP is drained while in use, okay. Try using Pyretic Booster to destroy the target. Increases damage by 25%. Deactivate. Covered offense. Now to look at defense. Ethereal Aegis comes in handy here. Reduces damage taken by 50%. EP is drained while in use. Effect ends upon reuse or when EP is depleted. Okay. Okay. Use the Ethereal Aegis while attempting to destroy the target. Okay. No way to escape its attacks, so you'll need to weather them using the barrier. Cool. Time to end the simulation.
Yay, duty complete. I know how to pilot the G-Warrior. Oh, okay. Oh, another one?
Are you sufficiently prepared?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Then we shall depart for Turncliffe at once.
Two scenarios in a row.
Seems they were expecting us, but who is the pilot?
Throat, we're almost there.
You'd better have your wits about you.
G-Warrior, do the thing. No. Initiate combat mode.
Now, get ready to strike.
It's time to fry this overgrown squid.
Ha! Save some for me. For research purposes, that is.
Alright, big boy, just you and me. Alright, it's not a trial, it's actually a one-on-one mech fight.
Can't afford to lose. It's all or nothing. Activating Oversoul.
Hydra's combat sample ready. Initiating organic core override.
No! I can't hold on! I will be monitoring the situation from the air. Follow my instructions and eliminate the target.
Seems to be doing pretty well. Damn it.
are.
Almost a half.
Realized what it was doing. Stay away from this front. There. Alright, where's it popping out? There we go. Can't worry about the turrets. I'll just have to keep moving. Got it. First try. Target has been silenced. Damn squid never stood a chance. Now that the immediate threat has been dealt with, we should gather what information we can in Turncliffe. Ava Unit 001 has come out victorious against the Angel. Oh! Hello? You're now in a...
I've been separated from my family ever since I was forced into the army, but I was able to sneak away in the confusion. I've got you and your friends to thank for that. My main concern is that Legatus Valens won't take this lying down. That man is like a dog with a bone. Once he sinks his teeth in, he'll never let go. He never lets go. He'll be back, I'm sure of it.
You did well to pilot the G-Warrior so adeptly in so short a time. And with the weapon largely intact, Sid and his researchers should be able to gather a wealth of valuable information. Before it is dismantled, perhaps we should take one last look upon our fallen foe.
I can't really do that when it's nighttime.
Oh god, not again! Damn migraines!
We should have known Father and his friends would track us down sooner or later. Now they're at our doorstep and the sapphire weapon still isn't ready. Even so, it should still be able to fend them off, or at least buy us some time. Not quite how I'd imagine it, but it seems a good way to die as any. Rex, Recon, why are you still here? You're supposed to be moving the other weapons to a safe location. You could take care of that while I pilot the sapphire weapon. Rick, what are you talking about? I'm the pilot, not you. There's no need to put your life on the line. Besides, it's still incomplete. It could barely perform basic maneuvers, so it'll be practically useless in a real fight. But we have a solution. Oversoul. You want to end up like Melisandre? No, of course not. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But she didn't give her life in vain. The ruby weapon left behind data that's been used to improve the system to prevent any further malfunctions. What difference does that make? Once Oversoul is activated and a pilot fuses with the core, there's no ways back. That's why I should be the one to pilot the sapphire weapon, not you, Rex. Alphonse needs you. You and I both know I'm the least qualified pilot we have. That's less to lose if we don't make it back. No, I won't let you. Please, Rex, hear me out. Ever since we were children, I was the smallest, the weakest too, afraid to stand up for myself. But I had the best brothers and sisters a boy could wish for. You were always there for me, protected me. Now it's my turn to protect you. Take the other weapons and get out of here. See this through to the end. Do it for me. For Melisandre. I'm counting on you, Rex. You always did have a stubborn streak. Alright, Rykon. I won't let you down. Just promise you'll wait for me. On the other side. We'll meet again, brother. You all made me happier than I had any right to be. And now, I finally found my purpose. I have no regrets. Come on, Sapphire. We may be far from perfect, but we have a job to do. Let's give Father something to remember us by.
Yeah, I wasn't joking about the child soldiers thing. And it's super messed up, what's going on.
The Echo, I presume. What did it reveal to you?
Rykon was piloting the thing.
Rykon, my poor boy. You were braver than most could ever hope to be.
It's as we feared. I'm sorry, Gaius.
First Melisandre, now Rykon. We must find the remaining weapons and end this madness.
The consequences of my actions. So what's your story in all this?
Tell me, what do you make of Gaius Baelsaw? I understand the two of you have been acquainted since his days of the Black Wolf. He claims to have shed his pelt when he took up the hunt for the Ascians, but he's still the same man deep down. He certainly kept quiet about having a flock of foster children back in the Empire, though. It seems he would rather bear his cheap to his former masters than allow harm to come to them. Yet try as I might, I cannot make sense of it. Does he truly fight for the good of mankind, as he would have us all believe, or is he merely biding his time before he reveals his true colors? Whatever the answer may be, in the end he will always be a Garlean. And though there may be honorable men and women among them, I have suffered much and more as the result of their conquests, barbaric campaigns in which Gaius Baelsaw played no small part. My first encounter with the Garleans was 20 years ago, shortly after the fall of Alamigo. They continued their march into the lands that had long been home to we Duskwights. We sought to repel the invaders, but we were woefully unprepared. Our bows and arrows were no match for their magitech. Even their most powerful magics did little to slow their advance. I fought on the front line, but was knocked unconscious in the opening exchange. When I came to, I was alone, and the rest of my unit slaughtered. I hurried back to my village to look for my wife and daughter, only to find the place deserted. My search lasted for days, then weeks, then months, and it seemed they had disappeared without a trace. I finally learned from two Imperials held at Bittermill that the villagers had been captured and used as test subjects for the poison gas that would later be known as Black Rose. They were never seen again. For 20 long years, I roamed aimlessly with nothing but hatred to keep me alive. I eventually found myself at the order of the Twin Adder, who offered me a place among their ranks. The desire for revenge was the only thing I had left, so without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. Were it not for the war with Gollumald, I would not have been loath to work alongside the city-dwelling Gridanians who for so long had treated my kind as outcasts, but none of that mattered anymore. It all accumulated with Operation Archon. As you led the charge into the Praetorium, we were right behind you. And when the place came crumbling down, most of us were caught in the rubble. I escaped with my life, though many others were less fortunate. Having dragged myself free from the rubble, I sought a way out. It was then that I encountered none other than Gaius Baelsaw on the verge of death. The gods had delivered to me the man whose conquest had robbed me of everything. I was poised, ready to exact my revenge, and then he spoke.
I will not beg for mercy. I only ask that you stay your hand a while longer. I cannot die until I have rid the world of the Ascian menace. For millennia, mankind had danced to their tune, but no more. Then, once we are finally free, my life is yours for the taking.
Since this was still a realm reborn, I went with his original anyway.
I would have struck him down then and there had I not sensed truth in his words, so I decided to grant him a stay of execution and join him on his hunt. All this time I've I've kept a close eye on Gaius, though he's ever on watch for the pursuers. He's granted me an ample opportunity to slay him if I so choose, and I still might if he shows even the slightest sign of betraying our agreement. But for now, the Ascians are my chosen quarry. If they are indeed the ones pulling the Empire's strings, then it shall not end until they have been eradicated. Every last one. Though I could not save my kin, there are those who may yet be spared the horrors of war. Unfortunately, dealing with the Ascians will have to wait until we have brought into Garlemald's weapon project. Though we may have vanquished the two of the new weapons, we must take every effort to prepare for whatever the Gallians throw at us next. Perhaps Sever can tell us whether the ironwork engineers have uncovered any information of note. Ah. So you were there during Operation Archon. Well, I'm sorry for your loss with your comrades, but I'm glad you're keeping him on a leash, as it were. You gonna be okay? Want me to slap you in the face? To get some sense back in you, or... Hell, I might do that anyway. The Ironworks engineers are still at work dismantling the Sapphire weapon and investigating the Turncliffe Magitech facility. Though they have yet to make the report, they may have some news to share at this juncture. Please, wait here a moment. We've yet to finish our investigation, but I can give you a preliminary report.
Were you able to recover anything of note?
Before abandoning the facility, they'd attempted to destroy anything they couldn't take with them, including many of their research materials. Luckily, some information relating to the Sapphire weapon's combat data was intact.
Judging by what we saw during the battle, it was extracted from Mergula van Hydrus, correct?
Also appears that the Sapphire weapon was actually in an incomplete state and therefore unable to perform at full capacity. Even so, it was immensely powerful. Had they been given the chance to finish it before we arrived, who knows how it would have ended.
Indeed. We may not be so fortunate next time, so we must prepare for the worst. The Ironworks will continue to investigate the Sapphire weapon and look into possible countermeasures. The Echo afforded you a glimpse into the conversation between Rykon and Rex prior to the weapon deployment. Do you remember any other details?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I know.
Improvements were made to the synthetic orsite system to prevent malfunctions. Then it was never their intent to create a manifestation of Nail Von Darnus. But there's one thing that was intended.
Killing the pilot.
Oversoul. Its activation results in the pilot being absorbed by the core, killing them in the process. Rex and Rykon were fully aware of this, were they not?
Yeah, they were.
And the death of the pilot was by design all along. Alphonse, how could you? Sacrificing your own siblings to fuel these accursed war machines.
Surely there's no cause worth paying such a price. Aye, nothing is more precious than family.
This nightmare is far from over. It appears that Rex has fled with the remaining weapons, and we can assume that Alphonse has every intention of sending them into battle. Must find a way to disable them before Oversoul can be activated. I've seen enough death. I do not wish to see any more.
Then there's no time to waste. Let's be about it, Gaius. Severa, you're in charge here. Keep Sid and his team safe while they carry out the investigation. Understood. Please see that no harm comes to Gaius. While we're gone, I need you to relay everything to the Resistance troops. Your first-hand account should prove useful. If there are any developments, we'll be sure to contact you.
Lifts lead down to the storage area where the weapons were kept. Unfortunately, the Imperials didn't leave an awful lot for us to investigate, but they did go to this place to carry out maintenance on the G-Warrior. Oh? Do I get to... When we first discovered it as a Zla, it was in far worse state than it is now. Different color, too. As for its intended purpose, we believe it was developed to combat primals or similar threats. All the parts deemed unnecessary have been removed, and we made several adjustments to improve stability and overall safety. As a result, however, we had to limit its capabilities to some degree. We can't afford to repeat the mistakes made by the Garleans with the ultimate weapon, who we believe employed knowledge obtained from the Asians. After all, we know how that ended. Might also be relieved to hear that Master Garland has introduced a pilot recognition system, so only those given prior permission by the Ironworks can operate it. Think of it as a precaution should the enemy get any ideas about stealing it from us. So I'm the only one that can, pilot this thing. Stand by the G-Warrior. Oh my god. Climb onto the G-Warrior's shoulder? Hell yeah. Cool. Alright, well, I don't want to know anything else about it. You can pose with the thing. Oh, cool, it's raining. Yeah, here's my account. Oh, Sapphire Weapon. Alright, because there's no extreme version of that fight, since it was just a, one-on-one fight. Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's Werlyt headquarters... Oh. Oh. I've come to deliver my report, Lord Valens.
Ah, so you have returned, young Alfred. Or was it Ulwick? Not that it really matters, of course. I hear that you and your darling brothers and sisters have allowed the sapphire weapon to fall in the hands of the enemy. Do tell me it isn't so.
I'm afraid that's the case, Lord Valens.
Oh, come now, no need to be so sullen. As they say, to err is human, to forgive divine. And you know how forgiving I can be when it suits me.
Oh god, it's Homelander all over again.
So tell me, whatever your name is, who was able to best the sapphire weapon?
Our sources state that the one known as the Warrior of Light was assisted by Sid Garland and
Gaius Van Belsar, my lord. Gaius. Yes, it seems he's been quite the troublemaker of late. Defecting from Garlemald, assassinating the Emperor. Whatever next? Oh well, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Speaking of which, I've become quite the connoisseur since arriving in Werlyt. This particular variety comes from a rare breed of cow, you know. Only 100 of them in existence and pampered every day of their lives. They are quite valuable, until their milk dries up, that is. When it does, they are sent to the slaughterhouse like all the rest, for that is their lot in life. To be discarded once they have served their purpose. Did I create the ruby and sapphire weapons so that you could deliver them gift wrapped to the enemy? I can see it now. Sidnan Garland rubbing his hands with glee at the technological marvels we've bestowed upon him.
And you let Gaius Van Belsar of all people get the better of you! How do you think this reflects on me, the legatus of the 7th Legion, humiliated by that traitor? Humiliated, I say! There's only one way to deal with worthless provincial filth like you. Wait for me in the correction chamber. You need to be taught a lesson in obedience.
Yes, my lord.
What's his problem?
Look at my intrusion full of violence, but it's time for your meeting with the head of Magitech Development.
Oh, how time flies when you're whipping useless soldiers into shape. Yes, I'll be along once I've made myself presentable. Can't have people thinking I've let my standards slip, now can I? What are you doing here? You wish to see me, Lord Valens? Did I now? Ah, yes, that's right. So you're Ali, yes? And you joined the military of your own free will along with your fellow orphans? Such devotion! What an inspiration you are! You see, it is my firm belief that love grants us the power to move mountains, to overcome any obstacle. Together we shall discover the strength that lies within you. Take my hand, child. I will show you the way. Yeah, he's... Yeah, this side story has some pretty dark shit. I think I'm actually just gonna call it here tonight. So I don't think, I'm gonna need a bit to, Yeah, the implications of that are, So anyway, I'm gonna stop the recording now. Yeah, we'll pick this up Thursday. Because tomorrow I am not streaming, and on Wednesday I will be streaming something else for Christmas. So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be happy when I'm finally able to run him through. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for a Christmas stream. Take it easy. I'll see you guys then.